I love Doritos. Hello folks, Shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another awesome video. We are, let's see, about 5 weeks removed before WrestleMania. A lot's gonna happen between now and then, but this Saturday, the road to WrestleMania hits a roadblock. Yes, it's the name of a special that's coming on this Saturday on the WWE Network. So, can we build, what are we gonna have to build up to it? Got my notes. Let's get started. Before I start, a quick shout out to my younger cousin DJ, who today popped the question to his girlfriend, and they are now engaged. Cuz, if you're watching, applause, applause. Good luck to you. Anyway, get to the show. We start off with Shane O'Mac, looking very confident. He has some words for his old man about what he did last week when he said he was disowning Shane if he lost, and that he would not be a son of his, but simply a son of a bitch, and just called his dad an old bastard. Then a gong hits, but it's really Vince McMahon trolling the Chicago crowd. Yes, we are in Chicago, so this crowd is going to be amazing. He trolls the crowd, even trolling them when they chant for CM Punk. And even says that that because he disowned Shane, that all of his memories between them are nothing. So he holds up a picture of himself, Vince, along with a young Shane McMahon who is going to go to his first wrestling event. Then he throws the picture on the ground and steps on it. Ed comments that he will become his grandson's new father figure after the Undertaker destroys him. Then he calls security to come out and take Shane out. Shane tells him that he will leave on his own accord, but if you touch him, he will fuck you up. Which he does. He fucks them up. I love you, Shane, but your punches really do suck. I'm sorry, it's just true. I mean, you just look like you're getting pity-pat punches. But those knee strikes look legit. So yeah, first matchup, Kevin Owens versus Neville. Nice little opener. This was an amazing fucking match because it's Kevin Owens and Neville. They just battled back and forth. Some amazing high spots from both of these guys that showcased their individual talents. But in the end, thanks to a quick roll-up, it was Kevin Owens walking away the victor. But that's not enough for Kevin Owens. He must assert his dominance and beats the crap out of the man that gravity forgot. That is until Sami Zayn came out. Oh, let's go! And they brawled. So you know what this means. It's finally happening. One of the greatest feuds of the last decade. A feud that has transcended brands. It started in ROH, it kept going in NXT, and now it's going to reach its climax at WrestleMania. The generic luchador, the Antichrist of pro wrestling, El Generico, Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, WrestleMania! Yeah! It's a shame that with each new match that we are getting at WrestleMania, the main event seems more and more like a piss break match to me. Yeah. Next up, we got Brie Bella versus Summer Rae. And she's not hanging off some random dude. Yeah, that's right. Summer Rae's income has a match against Brie Bella. This is an okay match. Not too long, not too long to be called a piss break. Too short to not too long to be getting annoying, but not too short to be called a piss break. It was a nice little breather match. Lana comes out wearing that fucking denim jean. That denim skirt reminds me of a storyline that is best forgotten. But anyway, let's see. Thanks to her inadvertent distraction, Summer Rae picks up the win. Yay. And Lana gets in the ring and actually does some wrestling by doing Brie's signature move, which is pretty much an X Factor, or a front face buster. Who's that? Next up, Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Monkey Dean Luffy, for those of you who have seen the picture, I can thank my friend Dead X-Man for giving me the idea, comes out and he says that this Sunday he doesn't care about anything but getting the world title, including what his best friend thinks, who is still at home nursing a broken fucking nose because reasons. Seriously, Dean has been getting punished every week since the Royal Rumble, and he still comes out there and puts on great shit. This does not make Roman look strong. Triple H comes out. The two exchange words, and he tells Dean that he has a match tonight against an old enemy of his, that being the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. This is a tune-up match for them both because this Saturday at Roadblock, Bray Wyatt will have to face the one-man crime fiend, the walking disaster, the living death sentence, the destroyer of dreams, the killer of hope, the God killer, he who stands above gods, Death's right-hand man, the walking disaster, the mayor and Lord and Savior of Suplex City, Brock Lesnar. That's good. Next up, Dolph Ziggler takes on the League of Nations, which is comprising of Sheamus, Rusev, and surprisingly King Baron. Apparently, Dolph should have learned, because after all these years, he has still not learned to stop writing checks his ass can't cash. Because he was saying some disparaging remarks about the Authority on Twitter. Bad move, Dolph. This was a pretty solid matchup, but in the end, the League of Nations pull out the win, even though they only suffered one loss, because this was an tag team elimination match, meaning that Dolph had to beat all three members to win the match. But yeah, despite only losing one member, despite losing one or two members of the team, they still won. I like the fact that they're making the League of Nations look more powerful and stronger than they really should, than they really are. Well, I love the League of Nations, but I'm just glad that they've gotten a nice little run and just being portrayed as an unstoppable group of badasses instead of just a group of jobbers like some other groups in the WWE. The social outcasts! Sorry. I meant to say social outcasts. Sorry. Next up, we have a nice little video promo of Shane McMahon. Now, for those of you who are out there who've never had the pleasure of watching Shane McMahon when he was working for the WWE 7 years ago, despite his namesake, he is actually pretty good in the ring. He has had some hellacious and great matchups. He has a win over the Big Show in that Last Man Standing match where he made one of the most Hail Mary dives off the top of the Titantron on the Big Show. He was Hardcore Champion and had that great Hardcore match with Steve Blackman. He had some great matches with Cody Rhodes and Shawn Michaels, and I say great matches. But of course, the one match that everyone talks about, the one match that makes people fans of Shane McMahon is his street fight with Kurt Angle at the 2001 King of the Ring. A match that nearly killed them and left them both severely injured, but sold people on just how good and tough Shane McMahon is. I love you, Shane. Next up, my wife, Sasha Banks, teams up with my other friend's wife, Becky, to take on Team Bad. Now, last week they had a match to determine who will be the #1 contender for Charlotte's World Divas title. I'm sorry, I'm flubbing. And since that match ended in a draw, they decided, hey, let's make it a triple threat. So it's the battle of the 4 horsewomen -1: Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte for the Divas title at WrestleMania. What does this say about Roman Reigns that his world title match is now looking even less interesting than the Divas title match? Anyway, this was a pretty good tag team match. Sasha makes Naomi tap out with the bank statement. Yay. Giving her team the win. But then Charlotte comes in and shows her why she's genetically superior and beats the crap out of both of them. I'm looking forward to this match. Next up, for the World Tag Team titles, the New Day defend against Y2AJ, that is Chris Jericho and AJ Styles. This was a phenomenal, pun totally intended matchup. New Day continues to show why they are the face of the WWE's tag team division. And AJ and Chris Jericho make an amazing team. This was a great back and forth matchup, some amazing spots, some amazing teamwork, but in the end, New Day pick up the win. And of course, predictably, Y2J turns on Chris Jericho because he's Y2J. He turns on his partners and he makes them look good. Good. Next up, Kalisto takes on the King of Cuteville, Prince Pretty himself, Tyler Breeze. This was a very short matchup, but a very good matchup. Could have stand a little bit more variety, having Kalisto face larger opponents, but oh well. Backstage, he talks about wanting to have his own WrestleMania moment, even invoking the names of Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, two influences of his, until Ryback comes out. Now, I have been interested in Ryback since this whole I don't need anyone shtick where he just comes to the ring, beats ass, and leaves. I would have been happy with that. Him cutting that long-ass promo, which sounded more robotic than anything Randy Orton has ever said. And yeah, Randy Orton has sounded pretty robotic in many of his promos. But I just didn't like it. He didn't need it. But anyway, this segues into our next match. Well, first off, we have the next inductee into the class of 2016 Hall of Fame. And this one is a personal favorite of mine. One Big Boss Man. That's right. The prison guard from Cobb County, Georgia, who also became something of a bastard by dragging away Big Show's dead father in a casket and force-feeding Al Snow's dog to him. Yeah, he's a bastard, but yeah. Big Boss Man. Very, very good wrestler. Perhaps one of the greatest and quickest big men to ever come out of the Golden Age. Too shame he couldn't live to see it, but hey, Boss Man, welcome to the team. Anyway, we go to our next matchup. Ryback versus Curtis Axel. I'm liking the Social Outcasts. They are steadily but surely growing on me. But of course they get fed to Ryback, and Ryback beats the shit out of Curtis Axel. He just comes in the ring, beats the crap out of him for 10 minutes, and leaves. If only they didn't have him cut that damn promo, I would have been happy with it, more happier with this. But yeah, it is what it is. Main event time. Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. Tune-up matches for their respective matches for this Saturday's Roadblock special. These two have always had great chemistry. They have had one of the most physical rivalries of the recent era. And this match is no different. It was a brutal, brutal affair as they were throwing bombs at each other and destroying each other for God knows how long. But the end comes when the rest of the Wyatts decide to come in and jolly stomp on poor Dean. Then the Fleet Admiral comes out looking to bust out another Buster Call. And there's a stare down between him and Bray Wyatt. Yeah, Trips, Bray is not like the League of Nations. He's not a yes boy. He's coming for you, and he wants that belt. He's going to get that belt. He's going to get it now. So him and his boys leave, and Trips is left alone in the ring with a grown Dean Ambrose and decides, hey, last week's ass beating was so good, I'm going to do a repeat. And prepares to give him a beating on that table again. But Dean is ready for him as he uses his mutant powers to heal up and gives him a nice gum dirty D's on the canvas. If he does this Saturday, we might have a new champion, which makes the title match all the more interesting. So yeah, that was Raw. My thoughts? This is a pretty solid show. We had a lot of setup for a lot of great matches. The potential for Zayn and Owens at WrestleMania for the IC title. We had good build for the Divas title match. Build up for this Saturday's Roadblock special. We had some interesting little feuds, great matches. Can't say that there's a sorry one in the lot. There were some that were weaker than others, but all in all, it was some great matchups for this one. Again, this builds up to WrestleMania. All the Raws and SmackDowns coming up are for building up WrestleMania, which this has done greatly. The only downside is Roman Reigns is still MIA, which hurts his match because it makes him look protected and weak. Dean Ambrose has been getting his ass beaten in since the Royal Rumble in January. Since then. And Fastlane. He's been getting his ass beaten since Fastlane by everyone from the League of Nations to Triple H to Kevin Owens to Triple H again to the Wyatt family, and he still keeps coming, and that's why the fans love him, because he just doesn't know when to quit. Roman Reigns gets the crap out of him, beaten out of him once with a broken nose, and he's gone. And he's out. Not a good way to build him up as your next face if he's out for so long, but yeah. That's just me. So anyway, that's my video. You like what you see? Leave, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or just want to talk about this Raw, or your predictions for what's going down this Saturday at Roadblock? Leave it below. I'll get back to you. You already know how to support the channel. The tip jar up there. Down below, Patreon. Really need that money. Help support me and keep the channel going. And if you want to listen, if you want to hook me up on Twitter, hashtag Captain Luffy. You already know. So until next time, it's been Shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good night. And he's Monkey Dean Luffy, and he's going to be king of the titties.